Welcome back to the show. So we're going to continue with our roundup of the championship games. We'll have to go through these quite quickly. We're running out of time here, Ken. Fulham, Bournemouth.
Well, you at the game. I'm assuming that you stayed for the whole 90 minutes.
You assume very wrong there, Ken.
Oh, obviously not, but it's one of those games like...
It was woeful. It was absolutely woeful. I don't think I've seen Fulham play that badly all season. And that's the third time this season we've let in 5 at home. Defensively, we were poor. Now, Fulham signed today on loan for the rest of the season Michael Turner from Norwich.
Yeah.
Now, he is a proven
Turner,
record
he was
at
at Hull.
centre-back.
He was Hull and Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
think that's a positive signing for Fulham.
But why now? Why now when they're crying out for that?
Well, the thing is, within
December.
we seem to leave our biggest centre backs on the bench. We've got Dan Burn, who's 6'6", and he's just left on the bench. We've got Amor Bieta, he got sent off in that game, but he was playing at left back, and he is a centre back by trade, but can play at left back. And we have Bodorov and Hutchinson, who are not much taller than me at centre back. Now, when you're playing in the Championship, the amount of balls that they can't deal with is what's costing us these kind of goals.
At home, especially some of the goals against Bournemouth, and obviously there were some crackers that Bournemouth scored.
But bar Blackpool, Fulham have the worst defensive record in the league, and Blackpool are only about 2 or 3 goals worse, and they barely have a team. So it's not a good situation to be in.
I say it once, and I say it 1,000 times. Why Kit Simons should be nowhere near that job. I told you this was going to happen. The bottom line is that the difference between Kit Simons and Kit Simons, your previous manager, is zero. Zero.
Well, Kit Simons has won more games, so
yeah, he's won more games.
Give him that.
Well, he could have gone better, but you had a manager with a proven pedigree.
But I think the problem with Simons is that he sets out his game plan. Now, when that game plan starts to fall apart quite quickly, he doesn't seem to have a plan B, and once we go behind, we're not turning it round.
And that's why he should not be in the game. Kit Simons is basically is a good cop. He's a nice guy. He's a Fulham legend, allegedly, and he's got the fans' goodwill at heart. I noticed that you brought Kerbishley back in.
Yeah,
you brought Kerbishley back in, which says a lot. But again, you guys blame Margot for playing players out of position. You just explained that they played like a hulking geezer at left back.
So, and he got sent off first game back from
So what's the difference between Kit Simons and Margot? Margot's got more experience. Basically, he's not. I think
the result, at least Fulham in 21st, they're 8 points above the drop, and I think Fulham will survive this season on the basis that Blackpool, Wigan, and Millwall are just worse than Fulham.
Yes, definitely.
But there do have to be changes.
But you've got to ask yourself a question: is that loads of things that we change? Obviously, the personnel. Kit Simons has to go, but then again, what does it say about your owner? Everyone talks about Al Fayed about being, being a bit off the wall, but at the end of the day, Al Fayed put real money into your club, and you like to say he was a good stewardship. This guy's a clown.
But we can't argue that he hasn't put money in. We've spent money, and we spent money at the start of the season.
Not wisely.
Well, that's up for debate, but he has put money into the club, so I don't think we can sit and say that he's not done his bit. He's not a football man.
Exactly.
He's an American billionaire. He doesn't know sport at all.
Exactly.
And
what's he doing at Fulham? What's he doing in an established Premiership club, which is in danger of going at the third tier of English football in just a year and a half? He shouldn't be near the club. That's my argument.
Well, I think that's up for debate. We could sit here and talk about that for the rest of the evening, but we'll move on because I think Fulham will be all right this season. So we'll move on. Charlton, they've won a few games. They beat Cardiff 2-1 away. Not a bad run for Charlton.
Basically, what the situation is, I think there's no pressure on them at the moment.
But the fact that they were 1 down, 16 minutes to go, they've turned it round and won 2-1. Yeah, that wouldn't have happened 3 months ago.
Definitely not. I think what's happening is that they've got a manager who they respond to. Like, obviously, I was critical of the decision to get rid of Peters in the first place, but Peters drew a lot of games. But these are games that Charlton were drawing. And if you thought if maybe they got loose on in a bit earlier and turned those draws into wins,
they could be sitting in the playoffs.
Exactly, that's where
they're
were.
They're now up in 12th in the league. Elsewhere, Brentford drew 1-1 with Ipswich. That was 6 feet 7. not a bad away point for Brentford, considering Ipswich are in good form and they're both chasing that final playoff spot.
Well, again, you look at the top of the Championship. It's shocking. The top 7th is 61 points. The top is 66 points. So for between first and 7th is 5 points.
The top 4 teams have 66 points.
I know.
And the top 6 are separated by 4 points. So it's anyone's title.
Which means Ipswich can still win the Championship. Like normally in the Championship, whoever wins the Championship gets 100+ points. Whoever wins it is probably going to only get about 85 points.
I think it's mathematically impossible for them to get over 100 points.
It's not going to happen, is it?
No, it definitely won't.
Even so, but what it's telling me is that there's no difference in terms of quality between the 1st and 7th. Like they're all capable of winning winning the Championship and getting automatic promotion. It's not a case of who's going to get in the playoffs. Anyone from 7th to 1st can win that.
Well, staying in the top 6, Watford, they drew 2-2 away to Wolves. A good away point. They twice came from behind. The game ended ugly, red cards for both teams, but a good point for Watford. It leaves them 3rd, and they're level. They're level with top Bournemouth. It's just goal difference.
3 weeks ago, Watford was 6th in the table. Brentford were 5th. Now they're 3rd. You can't make it up. It's like Jokanovic is turned things around. But what's happening is that all the top 7 are all beating each other. They're not even taking points of each other. That's what's making it close. But I just want to sort of, if you don't mind, make a little message because like a Watford fan is critically ill in hospital. Nick Curry's 44-year-old with a family, and he was there was a coward's attack by some Wolf fans who jumped him after the match. You know, we can't have a situation where a football fan is going to watch his club. He's left Watford to go to the West Midlands. He's minding his own business, going about his business, going to the train station, and these cowards are attacking him. 13 of them. We've got a 13-year-old lad now who's up before a beak attacking a grown man. What is going on? I mean, that's the trouble with English football. I'm not going on a rant, but they're under this mistaken impression that hooliganism is gone out of the game and racism's gone out of the game. Too much complacency in English football. It's embarrassing. And
our sympathies go out to the family of the guy affected. He's still in critical condition at the moment. We'll move on now to League One and Leyton Orient. They lost 1-0 to Peterborough. I don't know if you saw the goal. It was quite a bizarre goal. It was a cross. The wind seemed to pick it up and carry it over the goalkeeper into the net. And it leaves Leyton Orient in 21st. So it not a good goal to lose by, but Peterborough are in good form.
They're on a good form. I think what's happening is that they're responding to a loss of Darren Ferguson. He's no longer their manager. So obviously they're going to put a performance in for their interim coach. But in terms of Leyton Orient, again, they're not playing badly. I mean, before obviously since they had Liverani, I don't know where it is. The players seem to respond to him, to his ways. They're woefully inconsistent. They can't win at home.
We completely wrote them off.
Definitely. I thought
about a month or so ago, we completely wrote them off. They're now 21st, and they were unfortunate to lose that game against an established top 10 team.
I mean, they've got players like, Chris Dagnall's coming at the party, like Mooney's coming at the party, and they've got, like players coming. But it's just getting those little wins, these little moments. Again, the goal was bizarre, wasn't it?
It was a bizarre goal to lose by. Unfortunate, unlucky for Leyton Orient. Elsewhere in League Two, AFC Wimbledon, they're now 5 games unbeaten. They beat York City at home by 2-1. And Dagenham and Redbridge, they went to Tranmere and won 3-2. That was a 6-pointer for Dagenham.
Definitely.
And a big win.
It was a fact they were 3-1 up. And like I said, again, it's one of those situations where, you can't be critical of AFC Wimbledon and Dagenham and Redbridge because traditionally they were non-league clubs. And like I said, for them to hold their own comfortably is in League Two.
Well, they're 11th and 16th respectively, and they're both having fairly good seasons. AFC now unbeaten in 5, and a good home win against York, albeit York are near the bottom, but you still have to beat Woods and
And I think what both these teams have got, they've got managers who've got great experience. Obviously, you've got managers great experience. You've obviously got Burnett, Dagenham and Redbridge, and you've got Ardley at AFC Wimbledon. They've got good league experience and good players. And they, like I said, defensively, they've got their teams, ship shape. And obviously, they've gone for experience. You know, Jamie Kieranson scores again. You can't stop scoring. And Bingham scores a worldie to make it 3-1.
Well, speaking of worldies, let's move on to our highlights of the week, our highs and lows. We don't have much time to go through it, so you're going to have to be quick, Kenny. We'll start off with our player of the week.
It's between Coquelin, Kane and Deeney.
Now, Troy Deeney got the late equaliser.
He got a late equaliser.
Harry Kane scored twice.
Harry Kane features a lot.
And Coquelin plays like a man that's been in the game for 25 years at the highest level.
Definitely. Harry Kane seems to be winning my man of the match quite a lot of times because of his performances and because of the effects in the games. But I'm going for Coquelin for the simple reason is that he's kind of he's one of those things where you say, you go in the market, you say, we want to hold a midfielder. You know, it's going to cost a lot of money, it's a specialist position. And then you look around and you've got one right beneath your eyes. And his performance at Old Trafford was fantastic. Mertesacker had a great game, Koscielny had a great game. Obviously, the goal went in where both of them didn't know where it's Mark Rooney. But in terms of holding the midfielder together, you know, like breaking up the play at Old Trafford, setting up the attacks, Coquelin, that was a 9 out of 10 performance.
And a special mention to Danny Welbeck scoring against his old club. Nice to see.
Oh, definitely. You know, again, it's hard for him. I feel sorry for him because he's a Man United fan. He loves the club. Never wanted to leave.
Didn't prevent him from celebrating though, did it?
Well, you know, football's an emotional game. You know, he scored a good goal. It's an important club. He's helped his team. But you could tell the guy loves the club. You know, he didn't want to score that goal, but he loves Man United. But Man United don't want him.
This is true. So well done, Francis Coquelin. You're our player of the week. So we'll move on now to our goalkeeper of the week.
Well, there's only 2 players, goalkeepers, for me. And the worst of that, you'll be surprised.
It's definitely not going to be Bettinelli.
I don't normally give goalkeeper of the week to goalkeepers to pick the ball out of the net 5 times.
So who's it going to be this week? Who's your contender?
It's between Courtois and Lloris.
Courtois comes out a lot in our goalkeeper
because he makes
and so does Lloris.
They're two of the best. If you look at the top goalkeepers in the Premiership, there's only 3 goalkeepers there.
Okay, what we're going to go to a quick break, and then after the break, we're going to round up our highs and lows of the week that's been. Join us after this.